Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Toyosi. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the burn rate and the cash runway. These are key numbers that helps determine whether a company is going to survive or die. Most startups don't actually die because they have a bad idea. They actually die because they run out of money. And about 38% of startups simply fail because the money ran out. And the scary part is the fact that they didn't see it coming. So if you've heard of finance terms such as burn rate or runway and you think they're finance jargon, they're actually not. It helps a company to determine how much time it's got left. And the first we're going to be looking at is the burn rate. The burn rate is actually how fast a company is spending money. So if you're spending 100k monthly and you're earning 40k, then your burn rate is 60k. And this gap is what keeps the finance team awake at night. Next is the runway. The runway helps to determine how much time a company has got left before it runs out of money. So if you've got 100k in the bank and your burn rate is 10k, for example, then you have 10 months before the lights run out. Now you might be thinking, if the math is that simple, why is it that startups still fail and they actually don't just calculate the runway or the burn rate to be in business for a long time? It's not the math, it's actually the assumptions. A company might underestimate how much it will spend for hiring cost or operation cost, for example, and overestimate how much revenue it will make in the same period. This is where the problem lies. What strong companies do, or what I would recommend for a startup to do, includes the following. The first is not relying on a single forecast. You should have a base case, a best case, and a worst case. Then ask yourself, are we going to actually survive this worst case? Then another thing is actually tracking assumptions versus reality. So we made a budget at the beginning of the year and we've estimated that revenue is supposed to grow by 15% in the first quarter of 2026 and it's the first quarter now. How did we do? Compare the assumptions versus the reality. Understand what the gaps are. Understand the insights behind these gaps. And then this will help you determine, can we actually track our key numbers monthly, or are we at risk and do we need to start tracking it weekly, for example? Another tip I would recommend is not just focusing on the output. You should not look at the output such as revenue or just the cost. You should understand what are the drivers behind these outputs. If it's revenue, for example, we estimated to grow at 15% in Q1 and we've only grown at 5%. What happened? Did we churn more clients than we expected? Did we sign fewer contracts? Did we lose our key clients? What really happened? And how that will help you decide how to go forward. And lastly, you should pressure test assumptions. You should actually look at the assumptions you've made and ask yourself, what has to really go wrong for these assumptions to fail? And then this will also help with decision making. You might be thinking as an individual that this only applies to startups or companies, but no, it also applies to personal finance. If you're a person and your lifestyle is growing faster than your income is actually growing, then you are burning cash. Most companies or startups or people that actually succeed in creating wealth or value don't just focus on revenue growing over time, they also understand how much they're spending or how fast they are spending, because ultimately cash flow is survival. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up and also follow at Toyosi's Finance Nuggets. See you in the next one.